Hello, I'm Courtney Cardini and welcome to another weekly vlog of Life of a Travel Writer. We are in week 5. So this is vlog 5. I'm very excited because it's nice that it is the end of January and I have stuck to my goal of posting a weekly update about my debut travel memoir, current working title, The 2-Year Sailor. So yes, I have no updates. It is another week and I am still waiting on some final notes before we send out for submissions. So yeah, so last week I took you on a little tour of the Bangkok Art and Cultural Center, and this week my plan was to go to the National Gallery. However, it has been a rough week. The air quality in Bangkok has not been that great because as I found out from a lot of the locals, that it is the season of burning. So the air quality is really bad. I think I read somewhere from January to March or something like that, because the farmers are burning their fields. So the air quality in the city gets very bad, and I don't know if it was from the air quality or if I got a bug, but I was not doing good this week. So I did not go to a museum, but I did work on my other books that I have going on. So even though I want this to be a weekly vlog update about my current book that I'm working on, as the case is, sometimes you don't have an update. So, and that is something that and I have you on a weird setup right now because my tripod is not working. So, so yes, so the plan was to have weekly updates. I thought we would be, when I originally started in January, my point of doing this is to make sure that I posted something weekly. That was the goal. And the subject of that goal was to be about my debut travel memoir that I am currently working on. But as you see, in week 5, we still have no updates, which I didn't consider when I started, but is it's a very nice learning experience, honestly, for me and maybe for anyone of you out there who also want to maybe publish a book someday. So currently we are still waiting on notes from my literary agent. I think we're on the 3rd draft of my book proposal, and I have been working with my literary agent since October. So yes, so from October to January, we have been working on this and we are still not yet up for submissions. I am a little worried because I thought we would have already, I thought the beginning of the year is a good time to send out book proposals, just because you're catching everybody at a new year, but that is not how the literary world works. I don't think I think I was just hung up on the date. And it doesn't, I'm learning that it doesn't really matter. If it's going to be a good project, they are going to pick it up. So, and who is going to pick it up, will pick it up because it is meant for them. So yeah, so I am learning to deal with those emotions. Especially, I've noticed that it's a weird transitioning period because I've already written the first draft to the book, but I don't want to put too much effort into it in terms of editing because I don't know who's going to pick it up, because my goal is to make it traditionally published, because I do want to be in bookstores and it's easier to get in libraries and everything like that. And the main goal of this first book is to start at a younger demographic of 13 to 25, because it goes within my long-term scope of not only travel writing, but also being an educator, and that is the point of this book, is that I want to inspire others to travel, and especially for people like me who I started reading at a very young age and I wanted to travel at a very young age, and I didn't see a lot of women writing books or traveling. Like, it was before the internet. So when I started reading, the internet was not a thing, and I couldn't just go look somebody up on YouTube and everything like that. So my first education has always been books, And, you know, when I was growing up, I wanted to read about female travelers and see the world from a woman's perspective, but there wasn't a lot of information out there. And maybe it wasn't that it wasn't out there, but it wasn't easily accessible, because maybe I lived in an area where, you know, the people who are buying our books are not interested in that, you know. So, you know, you have to have people who want to share the information in order to get access to it. So that's a big reason that I am creating this book, and also because I have the intent that I would like to spend the rest of my life writing books and writing in travel and things like that. So while I am focusing on this debut memoir at the moment, I also have a 5-year, 10-year plan of other books that I want to work on. So while I am waiting on, because I can't touch this project yet because I don't know where it's going, I am also working on other books that I am currently have going on in the background. So at the moment, while I'm working on this debut travel memoir, I'm also working on my second and outlining the third travel memoirs. And I'm also starting a children's book series, and I am also starting a fiction series. So, and that's the thing about being a writer, is that, and being a human in general, you only have so much time that you can work on a project at once. So while I have all of these things that I want to work on, and they are books, I have to be able to schedule everything out, so, and everything like that. So it's not an easy transitioning period for me, especially since like I can't start everything yet. So what I do is, while I'm waiting on one project, I work on other ones that I have sitting in the background. And I've been doing this since I was a kid. This is a new phase for me though, because I am reaching to completions. Before, when I was a kid, I have dozens of unfinished manuscripts and things like that. So, and a lot of the ones that I'm currently working on are unfinished manuscripts that I started when I was a kid, and I've transformed the stories, at least in the fiction side of things. I started when I was younger. I didn't travel anywhere, so I wrote fiction, and so like some of the stories that I have now I'm taking over, and I am really my plan is to finish them at some point. So I've taken childhood manuscripts, and I am now bringing them into adulthood, and I'm working on them now. So that has been a big focus of mine for the last week, is also getting other things in order. Because of course I have other projects that I'm working on, but in terms of my writing career and publishing books, and because my goal is to publish a book a year, like that is something that I would like to be obtainable in my future self and my future life, which means I need to make space for it. So while I'm in this transitioning period with my memoir, I have really been focusing this week on other phases that will happen after this memoir. So, so even maybe if this memoir doesn't sell, I can go on to the next one, and then, or I can work on the fiction book. So I have backup plans on how I'm going to get my first book published, but I think I have it organized enough to see that it will be a slow growth of publishing throughout the years, because that, at the end of the day, is my goal. My goal is to publish a book a year. Even though I am a writer, some people say that you're not a writer if you don't have a published book, but I don't believe that. Like, I also run a blog and a Substack and everything like that, and I do freelance articles, and I've had bylines I've had bylines published. So I am a writer, but my main focus is, and always has been, to produce books. So, and that's just from a personal standpoint. I love books. Books are they're my main focus in life. Like, reading is one of my favorite things to do, and I just love a good book. So that is, even though I have published other things, that is something that is valuable to me, and that is what I want my main focus to be. So I've really been reflecting on that this week, and I'm really starting to build up a structure of how I want to see my life and to see what can help and what doesn't help in terms of getting these goals met. So a lot of this week has been just waiting on my book proposal and then starting the next steps for other manuscripts that I am working on. So it has been a lot of organizing, and it feels very good because as someone with ADHD, I try out a lot of time management strategies. I love someone who's got a good plan. I'm a type A person. Notion and Excel sheets and everything like that, I really, really enjoy. So a lot of it has been trial and error, I've realized the last year, on what works and what doesn't work, and trying to frame this transition into what it is that I want it to be. Because, before, like last year, yes, I spent the whole year working on my writing, but before that I was a sailor, and before that I was living in Italy, and I was working at an art academy, and then I was in grad school. So I have never had the time and space to give myself the ability to figure out what works and what doesn't work in terms of making writing my full-time career and making books my primary focus. So that's been a lot this week. While I've been sick, it's been a lot of reflection and centering and just, seeing what works and what doesn't work and putting things together, which is something that I greatly enjoy. And with writing just comes a lot of solitude. So we have not been going out a lot. Obviously, the air quality has been bad, and then we haven't been feeling good, and then we have doctor's appointments, and I'm so glad we're almost done with all of this. Because soon we will be leaving soon. I think within, I don't even know anymore. What's today? Today's the 29th. We leave in a couple weeks. Yeah. Calendar. What do we got? Like 2 more weeks here? About like 2 more weeks. So we have 2 more weeks in Bangkok, and you know what, even though I haven't seen much, that's one of the things about traveling full time, that even when I was working on the ship, sometimes you just get tired and you don't want to go out, you don't want to see a new city. And I think it has to also do with just your phase in life and what it is you're working on and where it is that you're going. And because I think about it too, even when I was on the ship and we were traveling full time, or I was just traveling on my own, like sometimes I just want to sit in a city and do nothing, just pretend it's like I would have been if I was home in Jersey. And you don't go sightseeing every day while you're in Jersey. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But if you're working a 9 to 5, you don't. So it was kind of nice just having this downtime in Thailand, being able to not rush through it every day. I know a lot of people expect you to be sightseeing every day, and they expect you to work at the pool while you're traveling, but like you can't type outside on the pool. The sun blocks the screen, and it's not enjoyable. So a lot of my time in Thailand has been good for reflecting on that. And with ADHD and everything comes, like, I'm just an anxious person in general, and mostly not anxious as in self-conscious or anything like that, but more anxious in the fact that I'm like that dog from Up, where I get distracted with things very easily, and being in new environments is hard for me because I get excited and I want to see everything and I want to do everything. But then there are times like now where I don't. I could care less if we go see anything in Bangkok, which I know is terrible to say in a way, because yes, I have this privilege to be here, but it's also the part of being human. Like, we're not also here just for sightseeing. We're also here for our medical checkups, and we have some things we have to work out. So it is like being in a mundane 9 to 5 life, but I just happen to be in a city that I've never been in before. And I do take advantage of it because we do have friends here. So we have been going out to dinner and things like that, which has been really nice. I will tag it down below, but we The other night we just went to this amazing Italian restaurant there. I didn't get the backstory, but I know it's an Italian-owned family restaurant in Bangkok, and they moved here a long time ago. And then the other week we went to an Argentinian steakhouse, and they're from Argentina. So I do really appreciate that about travel, and especially being in a big city like Bangkok. Like, even though I can't be in Italy right now, or I can't be in New York, or I can't be in Argentina, like, I can find somebody who's from that country and like be able to sit in their restaurant and feel like I'm in Italy for the next 2 hours. And, you know, and then you don't notice it, because as long as you don't look at the window, you can't see that you're in Bangkok, but you feel like you're in Italy. You know, you got the music, you got the food, the decor, there's Italians there, obviously, yes, also Thai individuals working there too, so that does, but who knows, because I have seen foreigners that work in Italian restaurants, so yeah. So, you know, you feel like you're in a different place, and then you walk outside and you're in Bangkok. So it is just a different mindset to grapple with when you do travel full time. So it has been a nice experience. I'm very grateful that I have stuck to a month of filming, giving weekly updates, and I will continue to do that. So that is the goal. And I just think it's nice to take some time and reflect on where the month has brought you. And I don't know what, I think it is for everybody, but like, I just have a psychological thing where I feel like the first month, like it just, you know, when you enter a fiction novel and you enter into the new world and everything changes, but that's not how real life works. It takes time, and it takes a lot of slow change. And reflecting on where we were last year, I mean, we started in Argentina, and now I'm here in Bangkok a year later. We did 17 countries last year, which is a lot, but is just like my other 2 years before that. I did only do one sail this year because I don't work as a sailor anymore. So, and even that was a nice experience, because while I do miss the ship, I find that what I miss from that lifestyle the most is my coworkers, who have now become friends, and who I do get to see when we get to see each other every now and then all over the world randomly. So yeah, taking the one trip was good, because I realized I don't really miss being on the ship, but I do miss my coworkers and the experience of meeting new people, which I still do, but it's in a different scenario. So yeah, so I am grateful that I have completed this month's challenge of posting once a week, and I thank you for being along on my rant for the week. And yeah, I suggest taking the chance to, you know, see what you've accomplished this month, and, you know, if you haven't accomplished at least one goal, try to do it just for February. I will be continuing. I do want to reach my goal of posting 52 videos a week. So this will be week 5, and next week I think will be our last week in Bangkok. Depending on Wednesday, now I got to think about Wednesday. Yes, so I got one more week post here from Bangkok, so I will maybe try to take you along with me. I do have some cafes that I would like, now that I feel better and that the air quality is better, there are some cafes that I would like to check out, some mom and pops, some blog posts that I'm working on that I want to get posted up. So I think maybe I shall take you along with me for a little cafe visit or a museum visit. I still do want to visit the National Gallery before I leave. But yeah, so it is the end of January. We have completed our first month of a weekly post on YouTube, and thank you for hanging out. If you did accomplish something this month, please comment below. And if you have any questions or just want to say hi, leave a comment down below. I hope you subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.